You boys be quiet down there!
Welcome back to PC-98 Paradise. This is going to be kind of a quick one to show you a fun PC-98 toy I picked up recently. First of all, the reason why I bought this is because I have a PC-98 laptop that I used to use back in the 2000s, which unfortunately no longer powers up. I've given up on getting this working again and will probably sell it for parts. However, I've always thought it would be kind of nice to retrieve the data from this laptop's hard drive. There's nothing really important on it since I only used it for gaming, but some of my old game saves would be nice to have when making videos about games that I've previously played through. Unfortunately, PC-98 laptop hard drives use a proprietary connector, so there's no easy way to just connect it to a modern PC and take an image that I know of. Recently though, I happened to find this somewhat uncommon PC-98 accessory for a decent price. Metz Corporation's Note Adapter, a PC-98 laptop hard drive adapter for PC-98 desktops. This should do the trick. So you can see this adapter actually has two connectors of the same type, one which is upside down. This is so that it can accept two different size hard drives. There were older PC-98 laptops which used a larger size hard drive than this one, and those will also fit in here using the second connector. But anyway, this hard drive simply slides in upside down on top of this plastic rail here, and connects to the bottom connector. So where does this go in the PC-98? Well, I'm glad you asked. This adapter uses the PC-98 file slot port, where I currently have this CD-ROM drive inserted. If we take the front cover off the PC-98, we can simply slide the CD drive right out. So as you can see, the file slot standard is quite modular. It works well, but this was a fairly short-lived standard. Only PC-98s from a certain generation had this port, and it was later replaced by the much longer-lived file bay standard. Metz Corporation actually also made a file bay version of the same adapter. If you're ever shopping for PC-98 CD drives, make sure to differentiate between the file slot and file bay standards because they aren't the same. And don't buy a PC-98, by the way, unless you love spending hours tinkering with old, potentially broken electronics. The Note adapter slides right in on these rails in the file slot. Alright, let's see if it works. Right away, the ROM on the Note adapter brings up this message on the PC-98 startup screen. That's actually kind of scary that a ROM on a hardware accessory can just take over the startup screen like that. Then we get the PC-98's hard drive boot menu. I don't know if I've shown this before, but PC-98 has a really nice menu for selecting bootable hard drives and partitions, which is contained on part of the boot sector of the first drive. Here I can already see a selectable SCSI drive that wasn't here before. Ooh. But first I want to just boot from my usual hard drive and see if I can access the files. Unfortunately, it seems when I try to access the drive, the system freezes up. Doesn't matter if I'm using my usual file manager or the DOS prompt. The drive also doesn't show up as a SCSI device. The only place I can even see the laptop drive is on the boot menu, so this is a long shot, but what the hell, let's just try booting the thing. Well damn, it works. Wasn't expecting that. We get a couple of error messages because it's trying to load the CD-ROM driver for my laptop, and it can't start my file manager because the drive has the wrong drive letter. But if we view the contents of the drive, looks like all my old files are here. Well hell then, can I also access my usual drive A too? I can. Well then, let's just run the autoexec and get my usual boot sequence. Now I've got the file manager running and I can see both drives. This'll definitely do the trick. I could have maybe messed with some of these dip switches and got it working without having to boot from it, but this is good enough. It sure is a good thing I had DOS installed on this old drive though, or I guess I might have been out of luck. So now I'm just going to create a directory on my main hard drive called old HD and just start copying files over. I'm also going to then copy them over from there to my modern Windows PC using my usual method. Also, it's kind of fun and nostalgic for me to look at some of this stuff I was playing on my PC-98 laptop before I stopped actively using it back in 2006. Well, screw that then, I guess. Also, does anyone remember this part from my Legend of Heroes 4 video? Still, I wish I still had my game saves from back then so I could show you footage of my super powered up Marty I used at the end of the game. Well now, instead of poorly simulated footage, I can show you the real thing. Well, that's it. I've got everything I needed, so I'm going to put this hard drive back in the broken laptop, and maybe see if there's anyone else who needs this node adapter. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know in the comments if you like seeing this type of hardware video occasionally, in addition to the usual game reviews. As always, thanks for watching.